Oh, hello! I like how I pretend like you just walked in and I'm surprised. Oh, hello! I'm gonna do another workout today, you guys, believe it or not. And there's nothing you can do about it. You know why? Because you, from my perspective, are in the future. You don't even, this already happened! Ha! Ha! I have so much power over you right now. Well, or just agency over myself, because I'm the one deciding to do this. And no one's making me, and I'm not making you do anything. So I guess I don't really have any power over you. Anyway, let's start this workout. It's a full one. It's a big one. Full body strength circuit. He called it. Okay. This is the app Trainwell. Used to be Copilot. I use it every time. They're not a sponsor, but they have sponsored me on other things, and I just use it because I like it. And I'm telling you because if you're looking for a good app, it's a good one. Okay. Ooh. Walking Frankenstein. And we're watching, well, right now it's ads, but it's going to be That Thing You Do. Tom Hanks directed. 50s, 60s band? I've never seen it. I've actually never seen this movie. I'm very aware of it, and I'm very aware of the song. I've heard the song a million times. And I've seen clips.
That's time. Up next is 30 seconds of standing balance lateral toe tap.
Okay. Standing balance lateral toe tap. Ada's about to come home. She was inside and then she left. She, hey, ho, hey. Just had her last day of kindergarten. Kindergarten. I vaguely remember it. I do have
10 seconds left.
I do have memories of kindergarten. I was 5 and 6, so old enough to have memories. But
that's time. Up next is 30 seconds of standing balance lateral toe tap.
Not a lot of memories. What's the point of doing anything? We're always just going to forget anyway, right?
Start the next.
No. We find ourselves on this planet, so let's enjoy it while we're here, right? That's the attitude. And one way I try to enjoy it is making sure my body is healthy.
10 seconds left.
So it's not in pain, and I have strength and hopefully longevity. And this is working out.
That's time.
One way to do that. But I also try to enjoy the working out while I do it by being able to get on my soapbox and talk to you guys. It's one way. But before I did that, every time I worked out, I would watch things or listen to things. And the workout itself does, sometimes it can be grueling and hard, but it often feel better. Bunny, what you whining about, Bunny? Feel better while you're doing it. And afterwards. I've been pretty tired today, guys.
Dumbbell goblet squat with 45 pounds.
How many pounds? 45. A lot of editing today. I have my 30,000 step a day video, which will be the next video, currently editing it, is, oh man, I'm supposed to count these. Okay, that's probably 8.
Start the next.
Now I haven't been resting. Told me to start the next set, but I started it before he told me to.
6 reps per side of alternating dumbbell bench press.
Okay.
With 45 pounds in each hand.
Okay. That video is currently at about a half hour long. And I don't think it's going to be much shorter in the end. It might even be a little longer because I haven't put the ad spot in it yet. But I'm going to go through and whittle it down more. But it's going to be a long one. And it's not because I'm just trying to make a long video. I'm like, this video has to be this length. I never think that way. It's just I take the footage and I cut it down as tightly as I possibly can to only the bits that I think are worth watching. And it just so happens that so far, I also got a lot of footage, so chances are I'm going to have more good bits. Percentage-wise, probably the same amount of bits, but just more because I shot
In
more.
35 seconds, do 8 reps of dumbbell goblet squat with 45 pounds.
And it's shaping up to be around a half hour right now, which is long for one of my videos. I'll probably cut some stuff. Once I go back, when I go through, I'm like, that's interesting, that's interesting, that's interesting. Then I go through it again, and I see it in succession, and I see, not in the show succession. My video is not going to be in the show succession. If that show was on HBO, and it's not. They're not making more of those, so there's really no chance of that, so don't get excited. But,
It's time for 8 reps of dumbbell goblet squat with
3,
45 pounds.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I see it in succession, and I see like a lot of repetition.
Up next is 6 reps per side of alternating dumbbell bench press with 45 pounds in each hand.
Isn't obvious the first few times through, because it's like repeated stuff like many minutes later, because it's me shooting video every day. So like on day 5 I say a thing, and then like day 7 I say the same thing. Like day 13 I say the same thing, and it's like, okay. Watching it once it's all cut up and those things are being said more closely together, it's like, okay, yeah, that's repetitive. We don't need that. That's one thing. But then also, Bunny, it's okay. Bunny's barking because Ada and her mother are sitting outside. Ugh. Ugh. Bunny, it's all right. Bunny, come here. Come here, Bunny.
In 35 seconds, do 8 reps of
It's also like some
45 pounds.
bits of information I'll say early on because I don't know what's going to come into play later in the experiment. I don't know what the experiences I'm going to have. So I'll talk about things that I think might be relevant later, but they're not. Bunny, come here. Bunny, come here. Bunny. Bunny.
It's time for 8 reps of dumbbell goblet squat
Yeah,
with 45
Bunny,
pounds.
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay, Bunny. We need to do 8 reps of Bunny. We need to do 8 reps of dumbbell goblet squat. Okay. Yeah. It's good. I need a little rest anyway. Bunny, it's okay. It's okay, Bunny. Yeah, it's okay. And then later that doesn't become relevant, and then I look at how good I am at continuing my conversation. And then so I'll like cut out the stuff in the beginning that was just irrelevant information. And it just becomes more obvious, like what's going to be more entertaining. I had a lot of stuff in the day 1 that I said, and then as I watch back, I'm like, oh man, there's so much interesting stuff that's going to happen later, and this is taking too long. Day 1 is taking too long to get through. So I'll cut things.
Up next is 6 reps per side of alternating dumbbell bench press with 45 pounds in each hand.
It's like there's a balance of relevant information, entertaining stuff, and pacing. Like all of it. That's the way I do it. I try to balance all of it. I put a lot of emphasis on pacing because I think that's how I enjoy watching things. When things are slow, they lose me.
Start the next set.
Even if some of the things that are happening are kind of awesome. If it's slow, if it doesn't feel like it has a purpose in a larger story, if I'm watching a movie, I'm bored. So I'm trying to balance all of those things. Not with these videos. With these videos, I'm trying to be boring. No, I'm just being unedited and real.
In 35 seconds, do 8 reps of staggered stance dumbbell Romanian deadlift with 20 pounds of each.
All right.
Left side.
So in the beginning, I talked a little bit, in the beginning of my walking video, I talked a little bit about sleep and how it was affecting it. I think I may have talked a little bit about weight loss, or my weight. Actually, I don't even know that I did. But neither one really became that relevant. Bunny! Bunny, what's up? What's up, Bunny? What's up? Hey, how are you? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, Bunny, come here. She wants me to let her out. Okay. I'm gonna do this workout, and then I'm gonna stop the camera, and then I'm gonna let her out and, I don't know, figure it out, and then I'm gonna come back. But let's do this. Staggered stance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to say good job, everybody, not arguing in the comments about Star Wars on the last video. I think.
Up next is 8 reps of staggered stance
Well, these videos don't get a great deal of views or comments, so
right side.
I think the people who are here, for the most part, want to be here and are not.
Start the next.
I want to be here to enjoy this thing we do, and not be here to start a fire. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looking good?
6. Probably because I generally am someone who tries not to start a fire. And I think creators sometimes draw like-minded
Up
people
next is 10 reps of inchworm.
into their comments. Especially on videos that aren't very flashy and just an organically grown audience like this one. Okay, I'm gonna deal with Bunny now, and then I'm gonna come back and do the inchworm. Well, I brought her out there. Hi, Bunny. And she saw her people, but I don't know if that was enough for her. I don't know what else I can do for you, Bunny. I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to deal. You're just gonna have to deal, okay? I'm gonna do an inchworm now, all right? Yes. Bunny. Bunny, it's okay. You saw them. They're out there. Ada's playing with chalk on the driveway. Yeah, it's okay. I'll take you out after this, okay? I think that's 4. 5. Having a bunny is good because she definitely keeps me more active. I go out, give her walks every I don't know, like 3 or 4 times a day. Just short walks every 3 or 4 times a day to go to the bathroom. Not me, her. And yeah, it keeps me walking. I will say since the 30,000 steps.
In 35 seconds, do 8 reps of staggered stance dumbbell Romanian deadlift.
Thought I was done.
Left side.
Okay, I think I was done. Close enough. I'm getting kind of sweaty. Since the 30,000, I haven't been getting. I kind of fell back into my old ways pretty quickly. which is like 5 to 12,000 steps every day, somewhere in there.
8 reps of staggered stance dumbbell Romanian deadlift
But I use
20 pounds at each.
It'd be less if it wasn't for Bunny. Some days, because like today, for instance, I haven't been using the treadmill desk because, well, I did it for so much last month. I'm taking a little break.
Up next is 8 reps of staggered stance dumbbell Romanian deadlift with 20 pounds at each.
I did a lot of sitting and editing. We have a lot of editing to do, so there's a lot of not moving today. But we're counteracting that right now.
Start the next set.
And after this, I might go for a run. Oh, yeah. I think that's enough. I didn't really count. I'm going to do an inchworm again, aren't I? Yep.
Up next is 10 reps of inchworm.
Feeling kind of exhausted today. Let's go, though. I think it might have something to do with so much sitting.
Start the next set.
Being inactive makes you want to be inactive at times. It's amazing how much time goes by when you're sitting and editing. A lot of creative work and just a lot of work in general, but especially work, I think, that is more or less scheduled, more you're relying on your own motivation. I'm my own boss. I have deadlines that I tell sponsors I'm going to get a video done, but other than that, no one's making me do anything. And that was the dream, and that is awesome. But it's a lot of reliance on your own willpower. And
in 35 seconds, do 8 reps of staggered stance dumbbell Romanian deadlift with 20 pounds at each.
Self-motivation. I think that's why I've made videos about procrastination and motivation and read books about it and articles and talk about it, because it's something I need to continue doing this. It's something that could easily slip away if I'm not careful. And often you have to will yourself to do things.
It's time for 8 reps of staggered stance dumbbell Romanian
You don't
deadlift with 20 pounds.
necessarily want to do in the moment. Bunny! Oh. Okay. Just a second. Okay, I put her on a long leash outside. Ugh. I tried to forget you, girl, but it's just so hard to do. Every day just doing that thing you do. Ba 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 ba. That thing you do.
Up next is 10 reps.
Love this
of
movie.
inchworm.
Never seen it. Okay.
Start the next set.
It's a lot of willing yourself to do things you don't necessarily want to do. But you do, in theory, want to do them. Like, I think this is a tale as old as time. People fall into a career doing a thing they love. And then when you have to do it, and you have to do it a lot, it becomes your job. And then you love it less. Or less often. Like, there are times you love it, but it becomes a thing you have to will yourself to do more.
In 35 seconds, do 12 reps of dumbbell reverse fly with 15 pounds.
I'm very lucky, I'm very privileged to be able to do what I do for a living, to be creative, use my come up with an idea, put it together, make a thing. Like, pretty much whatever I want to do, except, if I want to keep doing it as a career, I still have to do things that an audience will like.
It's time for 12 reps of dumbbell reverse fly with 15 pounds in each hand.
But I'm very lucky, very privileged to be able to do it, and I know that. And it doesn't require willpower to do the things, to come up with the ideas, to edit, to write, to shoot, to interview, go on location.
Looking good?
And make sure that you're healthy so that you can keep doing it. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm just talking. Okay, next.
Up next is 6 reps of dumbbell standing IYT with 15 pounds in each hand.
IYT. Because you're going IYT. If I were on the ground, that's what I would do.
Start the next
like
set.
That, laying down. But we're doing standing this time. So we go whoop, whoop, whoop. 1, whoop. You have to go whoop too. Whoop. 2, whoop, whoop, whoop. 3. Oh, that's getting heavy. Whoop, whoop, whoop. 4. It's at this point in the workout that I'm wondering if I am going to go for a run afterwards. I am just dragging today. I'm not a dragon, but I am dragging. Whew. Sweating. Jeez.
Up next is 12 reps of dumbbell hammer curl to press with 15 pounds in each hand.
Cool. Hammer curl press. Easy peas.
Start the next set.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing 12 of these? Oh, jeez. 5, 6, 7, 8. What's happening? 9. I think I've seen this clip coming up here on YouTube. 11. Or wait, is that 11? 12. Numbers don't matter. When you're working out with Craig, numbers don't matter.
In 35 seconds, do 12 reps of dumbbell reverse fly with 15 pounds in each hand.
All right. I think there's a scene where his girlfriend and him find out that they made it, and there's like running involved. I saw it on YouTube. I don't know. It seemed good. I expect the movie to be pretty good. 1. Maybe not amazing. 3. But maybe it is. I don't know.
It's
4.
time for 12 reps of dumbbell reverse fly with 15 pounds in each hand.
6. Resisting the urge to talk more about Star Wars. 8. Not because you would mind necessarily, but because I just don't want to always talk about Star Wars.
Looking good?
But I mean, come on. Han Solo, greatest character. The first
Up next is 6
Two
reps
movies.
of dumbbell standing IYT with 15 pounds
Empire
in each
Strikes Back, New Hope. Fun, epic. Like, the second one's a good love story, even.
Start the next set.
Between Han and Leia, and Han Solo's character is so hilarious, so much like the everyman, that I don't think there's an equivalent in any other Star Wars thing. I think they've failed to materialize another Han Solo. Lando is pretty close, I suppose, but he's also in the original trilogy. Apparently, Danny Glover is, or Donald Glover, not Danny Glover. Donald Glover is making a Lando movie, which I'm excited. I'm here for it, but that kind of character and that kind of story feels like it's lost in a lot of newer Star Wars, or any Star Wars since. Here I am talking about Star Wars again. Ha ha! I think the show Firefly, say what you will about Joss Whedon, he's apparently a problematic boss, but the cast of Firefly seemed to not have a problem with him.
Up next is 12 reps of dumbbell hammer curl to press with 15 pounds in each hand.
That show's great. The main character, Nathan Fillion's character, he's a Han Solo type. And that captures the feeling better than a lot of new Star Wars, I think.
Start the next set.
Three, 4, 5, 6. Like, looking back, I don't really want to know 7. I didn't really care about Anakin's backstory. I didn't care. I didn't need to know how he became bad. I feel like it was explained well enough already. I didn't really need to know the deep lore of the Jedi Council. It's better as a mystery.
35 seconds. Do 12 reps of dumbbell reverse fly with 15 pounds in each hand.
But I did want to see more the life of a smuggler in that universe. Or, the regular life of a working class person trying to make it in that world. Andor is kind of that. But it gets tied up in the whole Rebel versus Empire story, which is fine. But I don't need just a mundane story. But
it's time for 12 reps of dumbbell.
I just am less interested. Unless, if you're going to do a Jedi thing, like Acolyte, the first fight in the Acolyte is awesome. If you're going to do a Jedi thing, make fights like that. And make it mostly that. I don't need the inner workings of the Jedi Council politics. It's boring. Or make it not boring, somehow.
Up next is 6 reps of dumbbell standing IYT with 15 pounds in each hand.
I guess now I'm going to have to call this, I talked more about Star Wars. And then parentheses, but other stuff as well.
Start the next set.
I don't know. That's the thing. That's a problem with doing content that's about more than one thing. Less people click on it. You do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you click on what I put up no matter what, and that's great. Thank you. I appreciate that. But most people, if it's more than one thing, they're confused. They have no reason to click.
Dumbbell hammer curl to press.
If I title a thing multiple things, it doesn't. Less people click on it. If I title it one subject, even though it's about more than one thing, people click. If I just make it a funny, clever title, that doesn't really mean anything. Not as many people click on it. That's what I used to do. All my old videos, the titles were made. Everything I did was kind of made without marketing in mind. It was just what I thought was funny and clever, over and over and over again. And I think the reason it eventually caught on was just because I did it over and over and over again. And some people with an audience liked it and helped me find an audience. But that also slowly stopped working. So now you gotta make a video about one thing.
In 35 seconds, do 30 seconds of
And it has to be a thing that a decent amount of people actually care about. And that's less fun for me, I guess, but it makes a lot of sense. I don't click on things with random titles. I don't click on things that I don't know what it's about. Unless I know the person, I guess. And I like the person. But how do you know the person? You have to watch something else they're in first.
It's 30 seconds of pec stretch.
Or everyone tells you to. Or everyone talks about them. Well, how they heard about them. Because they did one thing that they got noticed for, I guess. And I don't know. I don't love that that's true. I don't love that that's the way it works. Because it feels inauthentic to just try to do one amazing thing all the time.
That's time.
Like, that's not
30 seconds of pec stretch.
That's not life, and that's probably not you all the time. You eventually you're bending the truth a little bit if you're going to try to do a amazingly clickable piece of content. Like, I guess my 30,000 steps a day video is completely honest. Like, I'm saying, I'm going to do 30,000 steps a day. Here's what happened.
10 seconds.
Or I tried to do 30,000 steps a day. Here's what happened. And you're going to get exactly what I did. But that's like one event, one thing that
Spider-Man stretch, left side.
That I did for a month. That's not like my life. It's not something that I'm going to do all the time. And that's something I probably would have done had it not been for the video. I definitely cared about my health and my fitness, and I'm trying to walk more in general, and probably would have without video, but
10 seconds left.
I wouldn't have tried to do 30,000 steps a day for a month. So in that way, it's a little
up next is 30 seconds
disingenuous.
Stretch, right side.
Even though I gave it my all and did exactly what I say that I'm going to do, but it's performative. And there's nothing wrong with being performative, but it is, YouTube and social media has led the world toward, it blurred the lines of performative and reality
10 seconds left.
More deeply than it ever has been before. Like, reality TV was a thing, but I never really liked much reality
30
TV.
Seconds of lying hamstring stretch, left side.
But that seemed more obviously not real life. Like, I think everyone kind of knew that this isn't real, but you try to buy into it because it's fun to suspend your disbelief. Nowadays, it's hard to tell. I think it's mostly performative. Most of the most popular things are, but sometimes it's harder to tell what's real and what isn't. Because now, video and shooting video of your life is life. So
that's tough. Up next is 30 seconds of lying hamstring stretch, right side. Start the next set.
And I don't like it as much. I don't like it as much as a clear line between what's performative and what's real. And that's why I really like movies.
10 seconds left. That's time. Up next is 30 seconds of figure 4 stretch, left side.
But it also, I feel like comedy has changed. Comedy's always evolving and changing. But it seems like it's harder to be performatively funny. Stand-up is doing fine. There's a lot of great stand-up. But as far as like video, TV goes,
10 seconds left.
I think it's for maybe just my own taste, but I think it's harder to be performatively funny. You have to make it seem more real for it to be funny.
That's time. Up next is 30 seconds of figure 4 stretch.
And I
Right
think
side.
stand-up does that. Like,
Start the next set.
stand-up comedy is performative, obviously, but they tell stories. I think the best stand-up comics are making it seem like they're telling true stories about their life. Which they might not be. And it's easier to blur the
10
lines of
seconds.
reality and performance in that way if if it's just relying on your words of you telling the story of what happened.
That's time. Up next is 30 seconds of straddle stretch.
I don't know.
Start the next set.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just shooting video for a while and unedited and just speaking my thoughts, you guys. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to do the splits. I'm never gonna be able to do the splits.
10 seconds left.
So these days I try less often to write my jokes and do them more
That's time.
in the moment.
Nice job. Press submit to finish.
Because when I write them, it feels real fake, obviously. I mean, sometimes it doesn't if I perform it right, or if I write it right, it feels good, but it's harder to hit that balance than if I like just have a script of kind of a dry script for a video and then or outline and then just talk and then just in the moment come up with something funny. Tends to be better. The performance is better. If it's like literally I'm making the joke as I'm saying it. With the help of editing, of course. Anywho, those are my random thoughts. How are you today? I'm kind of tired. I believe I said that already. Am I gonna go for a run now? I don't know. I might still. Sometimes you have to fight that urge to not. Yeah, you gotta listen to your body. You gotta listen to your cues and stuff, but to a point. Because if I listen to my body, all my decisions were just based on what my body's telling me. First of all, my body can't talk except for my mouth, but also I'd probably just be playing Tears of the Kingdom all day today, and Metroid Dread. I've been getting back into Metroid Dread. That's a good game. Such a Nintendo fanboy. Ugh. Okay, that'll do. See, I have the urge to call this video doing that thing I do, which to you who've watched the video, something fell. What was that? Oh. You'd be like, that's funny. I get it. But to anyone looking at the title and the nonsense thumbnail, it's going to be like, their brain isn't going to register they saw anything because there's going to be nothing of intrigue in that at all. But I don't care. With these videos, I often don't pay that much attention to it. But I pay a little attention to it. So I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'll probably call it, oh no, I talked more about Star Wars, which will be fine. The last video, like as far as views go, it did fine, average. But if I put like a bunch of things I talked about in the title, that tends to do very badly. Like relatively very badly compared to my other videos. You know, on YouTube, when you upload a video, it'll tell you how your video is doing compared to your last 10 videos. It'll rank them. Like in that point in time, how your video is doing versus when those other videos were at that point in time, or for that long, uploaded for that long. And so that's something I look at all the time as and it's usually pretty accurate very quickly. Like if I put up a video and it's like 10th of the last 10, it remains low, like for the life of the video. It's pretty accurate. It's kind of weird and scary how predictable we are as humans. Like the first like 10 minutes, I don't know, half hour of a video being uploaded, the behavior of the people clicking pretty much stays the same for the whole life of the video. That's not always true. Sometimes a video will get some kind of promotion or some kind of bump later, and then videos that have been up a while will suddenly get views. That's rare, but it happens. But usually it's just a pretty standard trajectory. If I upload a video and it's like number 1 of the last 10, it tends to end up doing very well, and maybe ends up number 3 or 4 by the time after like months, but up there. And so like yesterday's video, the Star Wars video, it was 7th of the last 10, which is fine, which is good. But I think the previous couple videos that were like multiple subjects in the title were 10th of the last 10. And this channel doesn't get a lot of views, so it's like, it's not that big a difference. And it doesn't bother me. I'm not really thinking too much about it. It's just something I like to play with. It's interesting. And on the main channel, it is a little more stressful if the video is not doing well, because I put a lot of work and time into it. And sometimes I think it's a real banger video and no one's watching. I'm like, well, come on. And I think, well, I titled it wrong or I thumbnailed it wrong. Plus, the sponsor expects a certain level of performance. It's not like they are demanding it. Sometimes there's a contract deal where if it doesn't hit a certain amount of views in a certain amount of time, then I have to make another video for them or something. But usually it's nothing. It's just I don't want to disappoint, you know. But it's in that ranking of the last 10 uploads is interesting because it's useful, but it adds more stress in my life. Because before it was always a big mystery. Like, oh, this video it seems to be doing okay. I don't remember exactly how these videos do at this point in time. Now I know exactly. And it's like, oh, I know exactly that this video isn't doing as well. That sucks. But, so all that to say, like, I try to title these something that's going to keep it in the mid-level of the last 10. Or number 1 of the last 10. I think the I quit or I stopped, but I'm back here or something. The one of the recent one of these videos where I said that I left, but I'm back. I don't know. It was something about being gone for a while, but I'm back. That video was like number 1 of the last 10. Because I think because, and it's not like me trying to scheme to get people to click in this case. Anyway, it's just like I think it's because I wasn't even trying. I just titled what it was about. But people saw that title and they're like, oh, did something bad happen? So they clicked, even though that's not really what it was. I bet there were a good chunk of people that clicked because of that. And that's stupid that's how it works, because you only have such a brief chance to get people's attention. You have to do that. You have to be as specific as possible, but with a little mystery. It's just the right balance, and with that comes misunderstanding. If you're going to keep things mysterious, you're not going to answer every question in a title or thumbnail. I don't know. These are things I think about. I thought I was ending this video, but here I go talking again. So yeah, I don't know I think a lot of you probably also upload videos and are aware of the last 10 ranking, but I bet a lot of you aren't either. That's a thing now. It's been a thing for several years, and it's just interesting to know pretty quickly how a video is going to do, and how it stays that way. Just like once you get a bunch of humans in a certain number, behaviors become pretty predictable. Particularly a random group of people across the world that watch YouTube. Anyway. Thanks for watching.